Hey everyone, it's Byron here to testify for Jesus Christ. I wanted to go over 3 dreams that I've had. Each of these are going to be shared because of how do we escape the things coming on this earth. Before I get into those, I just want to say that as you're looking at end time things, or as I'm looking at end time things, I see the United States separate from other countries that's going to be around for the very last. I consider the United States Mystery Babylon. I do that because the Lord has shown me that through dreams. So Mystery Babylon has the blood of the saints in it, and that's in our near future. But I want to talk about how do we escape those things that are coming. And our relationship with the Lord plays a big role. And I just wanted to share these 3 things of how the Lord guided me in the physical here on this earth to things that I would have never have known had it not been for Him. In this woman, I dreamed about the brakes being low on a Chevrolet van. And I just thought to myself, well, should I trust that? And I did. I went out there and took the front end apart, looked at the brakes, and they were down to just a very sliver of actual brake pad left. I may have a picture of that I can show you. Then on another occasion, with a vehicle, I had the vehicle tore down for repairs. And I had some dreams that really troubled me for about 3 days, had me like in a panic mode. In one of them, I couldn't find the book of Colossians in the Bible, but I did have a notebook with a bunch of information in it. I just couldn't find in my Bible nor a Bible these people gave me the book of Colossians. So I took it as if, Byron, you don't know anything about the Bible, and was in a just total panic mode. I was just crying out to the Lord, not only just because of that, but a few others. And then the Lord gave me a vision of a rat in a radiator, and I saw a rat in the little, like the output hole where the hot water would come out of a radiator. I just saw him there in the radiator, and then I thought the Lord was saying, "Hurry up and get the vehicle put back together." So I rushed over there and started work on the vehicle, and I heard, and I looked up into the rafters. There was a rat. I saw him. I didn't connect the dots. The next day I went back, and he had actually gotten into some corn that I had. And I was just like, oh my goodness, Lord, did you show me the rat in the radiator to tell me he's about to get into your corn? And I got on scene, he maybe had 3-4 kernels out of this corn that I had. By the time it was all over, he got some more, but I finally got him, trying to poison him and also catch him in a trap. And then finally, just 2 days ago, around 12 o'clock noon, I had fallen asleep. And I was in my wife's car driving on the interstate, and I started losing power, losing the ability to go. And when I'd mash the gas, nothing would happen. And it kind of reminded me of a transmission slip, where you got engine, but you don't have transmission. I looked, the temperature gauge on the car was high. The brakes were spongy, just an overheated condition. Saw a couple of the things along the way, but it put me in the mindset of, okay, what's wrong with my wife's car, or what could be in the future wrong with my wife's car? So I went over, I checked the coolant level in the car. Coolant level was all the way to the top, jumped in my truck and took off. And I was maybe 3/4 of a mile away, and I thought, dude, why didn't you check the transmission fluid? And traffic gets real bad around here at certain times, and once you're in it, it's almost like just, I don't know, if you live in a larger city, you may understand. Once you're in it, you're just like depressed, and you don't want to do anything other than just try to get relief from that. So later, after the traffic died down, I went back, and the transmission fluid was over a quart low in my wife's car. I had no idea. I knew that there was a slow leak. I thought I had fixed it. So I took my eyes off of it after, monitoring it for a certain amount of time. I took my eyes off of it, and lo and behold, I truly believe the Lord was showing me, dude, you got to do something, or you're fixing to lose a transmission. Now, if you take that right there, the Lord providing practical information about practical everyday things, you can understand how we could escape those things coming on this earth. We don't have to be away or out of the earth to escape the things on the earth. The Lord can go down to the street corner and turn left. When you turn left, walk 3 steps and hide in that hole. He can do that. He literally can do that. You know, we got to get out of this mindset of we're going to escape by, as in gone, totally gone, as people preach, into the mindset of, Lord, I know the only way I can escape is with you. And I truly believe that's how the scriptures are talking to me, especially when you consider that if we're not an end time player, but we are destroyed, independent of the rest of the world as the United States. But as I've mentioned so many times in Jeremiah 51:50, some people are going to make it through. That's how I see it, man. I don't see it as a completely being off the earth. I see it as the Lord directing us as to how to escape those things that are going to be out there. Anyway, just wanted to share that. I've been doing in the Lighthouse series, I've been doing a thing called, if we're not seeing things happen in our life like we saw in the book of Acts, the problem isn't with the book of Acts, and the problem isn't with the Bible. The problem is us. And so I would invite you to go over there and look at it if need be, because it kind of breaks down some of the things that we've learned, some things along the way that prevent us from learning correctly, and that's the whole point. So I'm gonna let you go, and that's my testimony. Thanks.